Good evening, ladies. This is Diane Tuggle from the Happy Scrapbooker, and we're going to have a little fun this evening. We're going to be making a fun fold card, and it is called a Zig Zag fully open card. And I got the idea on Pinterest from a lady that goes by the name of Razzle Dazzle. Razzle Dazzle. That's all there is there. They doesn't have her full name, or I couldn't find it anyway. But what it means is it's a zigzag card, but it opens fully like a regular card. So it stands up like this, and it has a lot of real estate to decorate. So that is how that card goes together. So it's going to be fun, and we're going to be using fun colors. Some of the things we're going to be using tonight are the pretty florals, stamp set and dies. We're going to be using the dies. Oh, that came off the thing. So it has a polymer stamp set, and I'm stuck to it. There we go. A polymer stamp set, so it's two layers, detail and background. And it has all these beautiful dies. It's some standalone dies and the dies that cut out these images, but we're going to be using the standalone dies tonight. So this leaf, this stem, this big flower, this leaf, these small flowers, this is the bottom second layer of the small flower, and this is the top layer of this big flower. So those are the, well, we're not using that one. Those are the dies that we're using out of this set. And we are going to be, for our sentiment, using Thanks, I Appreciate You from Impressions of Bloom. And there's one more from Sweet Blooms, You Make Me Smile. We're going to be using those 3 stamp sets. So we're going to be using a embossing folder called Forever Plaid. And this time I took my designer series paper and embossed it. So this is a 3D embossing folder, and so it gives it a lot of dimension. So we are going to be using that. And we're going to be using this beautiful designer series paper, and it is from Florals in Bloom. It goes with the stamp set I showed you, that with the dies. And the paper we're using out of it is this strawberry slush. Looks like a basket weave. The back side of it is that, but we're using this beautiful strawberry color, and we're using this bold floral. The back of that is just purples. So we're using that. I hope I didn't mess up my pieces. So let me show you how to construct this card. We're going to be using some cardstock to cut out the flowers and for matting. So we're using strawberry slush cardstock for a mat on the front and a mat on the inside. There's my. We are using, and for one of the smaller mats, there's our designer series paper. We are going to be cutting some circles. So strawberry slush, you need 4 of this large, looks like a paper plate, and this is from Spotlight on Nature's. You need 4 of those in the strawberry slush, and you need 3 white ones. This is the one that looks like eyelet, and it fits right inside of there. 3 white ones. You will also need one label right here, the third one down. This is Nested Essentials. So it's this bunny shape. And I'm going to get rid of those. Get them out the way. We are going to be using, I needed a small label for the front. So we're going to be using this little tiny label right here to stamp thanks. It goes on the front of the card, and this is from Tags to Go Dies. So we also will need scraps of cardstock in the colors of Fresh Freesia, Bubble Bath, Old Olive, and that is all. And I did add a butterfly to the front of this card, and this is a retired product, paper butterfly accents, but if you have them, like there's bunches and bunches in there, and all you do is use your blending brush to color it any color you want, or you can leave it white. And we will also be using Old Olive ink and Fresh Freesia ink. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll show you how this card goes together. Move a couple of these things out of my way. Oh, this also, the 3-pack of the twine in the Strawberry Slush color. I'll be using that. Okie doke. I got a lot of pieces going on here. Let me start from the beginning. So you're going to make a regular card base. This is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. So it's just a standard card base. And I am using the thick white because there's a lot of weight to this card, and you want it to be able to hold the weight. So that's your card base. And the zigzag part is 4 1/4 by 11, and you're going to score it at 4 1/4 and 8.5, and you have this panel left over. Then we're going to cut off a section of this. So I'm going to write it down for you. So you're going to make a tick mark at the 2.5 inch right here, and you're going to go all the way to this where this fold goes. So you're going to cut, I drew a line so you could see, and we're going to cut this part off. So what you do is you put it in your paper trimmer. Let me move this ink. I'm going to put my tick mark right there, and I'm going to put the end of this is in the cutting channel of the paper trimmer. I should be able to see that line. Where is it? I thought I cut it. All right. That's not right. In the cutting channel. Okay, I'm gonna stick my blade up here, go this way, and just cut this off. And that scratch. And then this is your, well, actually it goes like this. So the smaller end is the front of your card. And this gets attached to this card, right, like so, just glued down. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Here's my card base. Here's my tab. Let me put my silicone mat down so that I don't make a mess. So what I'm going to do, I'm just using my Tombow glue and going to make sure that it lines up with this edge. And press the whole thing down flat. And just give it a few minutes to go ahead and dry. Let me get a sip of water, ladies. I'm losing my voice again. That's better. Okay, now we need to cover up this ugly place. Put my card there so you can see it. So, let me figure out which one it is. I know this is the one that goes on the front. And it's one of these mats, and I'm not sure which one. I think it's this one, and I think it's a little big. Let me measure this. Well, maybe it's this one. It is that one. Okay, it is that one. I'll save that. So this card front is 4 1/4 wide by 5 1/2 tall. And this mat in the strawberry slush is 1/4 inch smaller all the way around. And we're just going to glue that down. So we're going to center it. And this is 3 5/8 by 5. And we'll go ahead and, this is the piece I embossed. And it's designer series paper. So it's a little on the fragile side, so you have to be kind of careful with it. Okay, I'm going to sit down a minute, and we're going to figure out the other pieces. So we need a piece that goes right in here. And this was 4 1/4, so I cut my strip to 4. And cut my angle, and I'm going to put that down. I love doing fun fold cards. I like to challenge my brain. Okay. So that goes there, and now we're going to work on this piece and this piece. So, did I already mark this one? Yeah, I did. I marked it. Let me trim it. Okay, I marked my angle. And again, I'm going to stick it in the paper trimmer and slice it off. And then I know it's a little too wide. I need to get that much off the edge. So that is the first mat. And now we need to make this fit this one. So I've got the right width. Actually, I could trim just a little off of that. So this is 4 inches wide, and I'm going to stick it on here, take my pencil, make a tick mark here and here, and put that in the paper trimmer here and here, and just at the other angle. And then I think I might have a little pencil on here. Get it off. Okay, so these two go together and they go on that front panel. And I'm going to glue them together, but I'm not going to put them on the panel yet because I make sure of something first. Okay, so it's going to go right here. Okay, yep. All right, so first I have to put my circles down. So I have, like I said, 4 of these. And you say, I only see 3. Well, one of them I doubled up just to make it look nicer and give it a little support. So we're going to go ahead and put this on first. Actually, let's go start here. If we start here, we can line them all up to that. So I'm going to put my circle down. Take a minute to stick to that. If you got an overage of glue, just wipe it off with your embossing buddy and then erase it. There we go. That's good. Okay, so we got that. So we're going to put this one on. So what I'm going to do is line it up to that one. I'm going to draw a half circle there because it's going to be covered up anyway. And I'm going to put my glue there and line it up. And then while we're here, we'll go ahead and put this on. So here we go. Takes a little prep work to get this card ready, but once you do that, it goes together pretty easily. So next we have this one. So what I'm going to do, oh, I missed a piece of, I need another piece of DSP. Okay, we sure do. I forgot about that piece. Okay, let me trim that off real quick and stick it on there. And we have an angle. And I have to put it down so that I can think where my point is. Okay, my point is there, my angle's there. And slice it off. Okay. Let me get those pencil marks off of there. Okay, and glue this down. You think you have everything cut, and then you this one. That's okay. Okay, now we're gonna put this one on the back. That way we can line it up. And again, I'm gonna make my half circle so I know where the glue goes, and it'll be covered up by the thing, by the circle. So we're lining that up. And then we're going to open this up, and we're going to put the other one. And this is going to cover the whole thing. Yep. Okay. So there is all the pieces for the base. We have to do the inside of the card, and we have to decorate it. And that's all we have left. So I have 2 circles here, 2 white circles that I am going to put some ink on so that the flowers will stand out against it. See the background has ink. Okay, I'm using Pool Party ink, and I'm using a blending brush, and I'm using a light hand. So I'm going to start in the middle and just go, and this will lighten up a little bit as it dries. And then this piece I'm going to make even lighter. And then the inside of the card has a white piece with flowers on it, and we are going to do a little right down here. So our flower will show up. So that's all that blending. And let's go ahead and do the inside of the card. Go ahead and okay. This is so much fun. I get so involved in this. And I start my day out, and before I know it, it's time to fix supper. And I haven't done anything else all day. So I have to pace myself. Okay. So this is the inside of the card. And we're going to go ahead and glue that down. And make sure that it doesn't need a little trim. It does need just a little trim. When you put it in a fold, believe it or not, a fold takes up space. I didn't quite get it. And I'm going to trim just a smidge off of this side too. There we go. So now we'll put it in there and fold it over, and it won't be hanging out. Okay. Press it down real good. Now the inside of my card is decorated. So these leaves right here, they're in the stamp set, and they're standalone dies. And I did take green old olive ink and my blending brush and just wipe over them so that the detail will show up. So if I turn it over on the back side, you see the difference in color. So the detail is showing up. So what we're going to do here is just crisscross this cluster of leaves to the center. Same thing with this one in the opposite direction. So they cross over each other. And I got a little overage on the glue. Okay. We're going to take one of our flowers. Let me show you how this flower is done before I go any further. I'm going to put this right up here. And find my flowers. Here it is, okay. I have my Fresh Freesia ink. Where's my purple handled brush? There it is. So what I did, here's the die cut. And they're pretty just as they are, but once you add a little ink to the edge, this is my blending brush and Fresh Freesia ink. I'm just going around the edge lightly, and then I'm going to take it and whoosh in the middle. And then there is a center piece that goes on here, and this is in Fresh Freesia. This is Bubble Bath, and I'm going to take my detail blender and just dab into the center of that, just so that that center is a little darker. So that's all of that. And now we're going to glue this little guy right onto that. And there's little pointy things, and they line up in the folds of the petals. So this one lines up here, here, and here. I got a little bit too much glue there, but it does dry clear. So now we're going to put this little guy right here, and I'm going to, even though it's the inside of the card, I'm going to use dimensionals. 3 of them will be enough. And I'm just going to lay that across the center. And then we're going to add some of the strawberry slush. I can't say that word real well. Gems. So I'm going to put, I think 5 of them is what I put. Yep. This is going to be an extra special card. Go. So there's the inside, and you have plenty of room to write your thank you note. And now we'll work on these. I'll go ahead and put that one away. That away. And we'll go ahead and put these on the card. So I have one that I do not have any ink on because I'm going to stamp a verse on that one. It's going to be You Make Me Smile. I think I've already done it here. And that's going on the inside, right here. I see there's a couple of these eyelet things that didn't pop out, and shoo them out of there. Okay, that's in the middle. Okay, now we can put our blue ones on, our blue background. So we're going to put one right here. And we are going to put one on the front. Okay, we got all of our big pieces on there. And I've got a little spot right there, but there, it's clean again. Okay, so let's decorate right here. So we're gonna put some stems for our little flowers to sit on. I have 3 of these little stems die cut, and I rubbed a blending brush with the old olive ink on there. And I'm going to go ahead and put them on. So I'm going to put one on that side. I know I put glue back there. Okay. And one on the other side. And then one in the middle. And the flowers, believe it or not, they're 3 different sizes, but they all come out of one die. They're just slightly different. So here's one, and another one, and another one. You can see the 2 pieces of cardstock. That's the freesia and that's the bubble bath, and I did the ink blending around it. So I think it's got something on it. There we go. There's the medium one. This is the large one, and this is the small one. So I'm going to go ahead and glue them down. Just gluing them flat. Okay, there's those. And then my label, I've already stamped it, and I stamped it in the Fresh Freesia ink, and it says, "I appreciate you," and it's going to go, I think I'm going to bring it up a little bit this time. Yeah, I like that. Give it a minute to set and stick to the paper. There we go. Is it crooked? It might be crooked after all that. Okay, we'll take it off one more time. Try some more glue and try not to put it on crooked. There we go. That looks better. Okay, So we've got that done and that done. And now we just need to do the front. And the front, I've done 3 of those big flowers. I did 2 in the bubble bath and 1 in the fresh freesia. And I have one of these big leaves. And I also have 2 of these leaf clusters that go on. And they have been they've been darkened with ink using the blending brush. So I think this green sprig is really a pretty one. It can be used in a lot of things, so I like it. Okay. So we'll go ahead and put the dark one there, and I'm using dimensionals. Okay, we're going to bring it up to the center like that. And then the lighter ones, I'm going to put one there so I can put ink on listen to me. Glue on this side and dimensionals on the other side. Okay, so the glue goes there and the dimensionals go right there. And I'm gonna go ahead and tuck this leaf in, and I've used the blending brush on it. I'm gonna tuck it in there. I'm going under. There we go. And we have one more. So we just need a few more dimensionals to the side. And make sure I leave room for my little label. And I'm going to bring it up a little bit, like that. So I've already stamped this label. It's the cutest little label. I love the shape of it. This one, I don't know what it came from, but I found it on in my little tray, so I used it. But this one came from Tags and More to Go, and I think it's really cute. And we're going to take a little bit of this strawberry slush twine and stick it on the back with some dimensionals. So 1, 2, let me put that on there. Lay it down. How do I want it to go? Kind of like that. So I want everything coming off. That one in place. That one. And one more, I think. One more. So, of course it came off. One going up. And that one in the middle is going to have to come off of there. Or something. There we go. And we're just going to put that down right here. And now we need to finish it off with a few more of these little blingies. So I'm going to put one right over that little hole in that label. And I'm going to put a couple more. I'm going to put one right here. And maybe a small one right here. And I think that's all it needs. It's got a lot going on already. So I could have put that one up higher, but it's already stuck down, so that ain't happening. Oh well. Here's the butterfly. Should we add it? Kind of brings your eye all the way across if I do that, so let's do that. So these butterflies, if you have them in your stash, they are totally awesome. They're like laser cut paper. And all I did was run my purple blending brush. I didn't even ink it. It just used the ink that was already in it. So here is our Zig Zag fully open fun fold card. Zig Zag fully open fun fold card, and it's a thank you card. It says thanks on the front. You make me smile. I appreciate you, and then you can write a note on the inside. I really think they're pretty. Let me see if I can find that stamp set again. Okay. So that's the stamp set that has the standalone dies in it that we used on this card. These right here. And this is the little label right here. And this is from Tags to Go Dies. And then You Make Me Smile is from Sweet Blooms. That is right there. And then thanks and I appreciate you. I appreciate you there, and thanks on the front. And I will have all the dimensions, cutting dimensions, in the description box. And I will also have a link to my shopping website with everything listed supply-wise. And I appreciate you watching, ladies. Have a good evening.